Happy Sunday
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Madam Mayor's Adventures for another week of adventure
in Key West.
in Key West.
We're still here. Can
We
I
did.
stay here?
It's a nice place to stay, but it's a very expensive place to stay. So,
That's true.
yeah.
That's very true.
Um, it has been fun. I think the best part about it is the scenery, and we've met some nice people, and um, I think the weather is probably the best thing. To be honest, the weather is. If it's not stormy summer, it's nice. Like if it's not hurricane season, it's
Oh yeah,
nice.
it's chillax here.
It's chillax.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Nice breeze, nice view.
Hmm. So last week, if you were with us, there was some noise in the background, and it was the roof air conditioning unit, and it was really hot last week. So this week we don't have it on. We haven't had it on for a couple of days. It's been really nice. We've been getting up to about 78 during the heat of the day, which is about right now. But we got fans, we got roof vents open, fans open, we'll be fine. So you should be able to hear us okay. I'm a little under the weather, so I sound a little nasal. And
Keep your germs over
I'll
there.
keep my germs over here.
I'm trying
So,
not to get sick.
I mostly just have this impending cough. But I got cough drops, I got some water here, so we'll be alright. We'll get through it.
I've noticed when you cough, you project it in my direction.
That's not intentional.
Yeah, you're trying to take me down.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I believe that's the truth. So,
So we have a lot of questions that people are asking. Some of them
yeah, I want to know what you've been doing this week.
What have I been doing? What have you been doing?
You don't worry. You don't worry about me. Let's talk about you.
Well, we've done a lot of bike riding around Key West. And you get a lot from just biking around because, I mean, parking is kind of difficult, especially on a Friday and Saturday down around Duval Street. We were down there Friday, and it was about 3 o'clock. It wasn't late at all. And people start crowding Duval Street and the Mallory Square right around 3 o'clock. I mean, you could see
The
from
party is getting started for
Yeah.
sure.
you could see from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock a huge difference, like a double in population. Bike traffic, foot traffic, car traffic. And I don't think we stayed past 4 or 4:30, but by the time we left, it's like, man, now you're driving around people, you're driving in traffic. But it's very easy to navigate Key West on a bicycle.
You just need to pay attention.
You do. You have to have your head on a swivel because
And you should do that whether you're walking, driving, or bike riding or anything, just because there's a lot of people.
right. But what I was going to say was there's a lot of electric bikes down here, and I'm looking at electric bikes, but I haven't really gotten on that bandwagon yet because although e-bikes would be nice here, they're not going to be nice maybe everywhere we go. So we got to think about the long-term plan of an
And they're
e-bike.
pricey,
And
so
they're pricey.
that's a huge thing to consider.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, at the end of every day, I wish I had an e-bike because now I got to
Yeah.
pedal home after a long day.
Well, it's 3 miles. You can get anywhere on Key West within 3 miles of this campsite. You can get all the way across the island in 2.5. You can get down to the furthest most point in about 3 miles. So, I mean, it's not far.
But if I had an electric bike, I would be going to Boca Chica and bowling.
Perhaps.
No, perhaps.
Now,
Definitely.
I've heard that bridge over to Boca Chica is dangerous for bike traffic. That's electric or pedal.
Well,
There's no bike
sometimes you
lane.
got to brave the danger to
There's
do
no
good things.
there's no bike lane on that road, and it's traffic is bumper to bumper going back and forth right there. But yeah, that would be neat. But we can always catch a bowling alley someplace else. It doesn't have to be here.
I've been hearing that for 2 years, by the way. Still have not been bowling. So, anywho.
So we'll get to those questions that you guys have.
Okay. The first thing that everybody's wanting to know is how is it that you find military campgrounds?
Okay, you can Google search military campgrounds, or they call them FAM camps. FAMCAMPS. It's family campgrounds. When you say the word FAM camp, that's kind of like a hashtag buzzword for military campgrounds. And it'll pop right up. In fact, I pulled it up here on my phone just so you can see the website.
Now, can you book online or do you have to call them?
most of them you can book online through the military campground site. But you can kind of see the site there. You just click on that and scroll through, and you can select what state. You could do military campgrounds, fan camps for Florida, and all the Florida ones will pop up. But realize too, make sure you're hitting a real base, because sometimes you're hitting a base that doesn't have all the services on it. Sometimes it'll send you a link to like where you can get ID cards made, but it doesn't have a campground. But there's campgrounds outside the gate, so you got to kind of read through that. The people here have been great. Like we said, we had like a 12-day stay, and then we had one day on the 5th that we may have had to dry camp in order to get back in line to get our to get 12 more days. So or 7 more days. We extended a week. So that we didn't have to do that. We kept going back every day and checking with them, and he was able to move some people around, and we stayed in the same spot, not only the 5th, but all the way to the end. So we got lucky.
How long do you plan on living in this RV and traveling?
I hope to do it as long as my health holds up and as long as the camper holds up.
The second part of that question is, are you going to be moving back to Otter Creek?
Moving back? No. I could say pretty soundly we probably will never be moving back to Otter Creek, but we'll definitely visit. We got Christmas in the creek. We want to be part of that. Zim's got a new campground going in. We, maybe like to at least check it out. We still got friends in Otter Creek. We'll check on them.
Yeah. I never say never about anything because it's a crazy
Did you think
world.
A year ago you'd be in Key West?
No. And I certainly never thought I'd live in Otter Creek in the first place. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So you never know.
Hi, Flippin' Adventures.
Are you getting good gas mileage?
Well, what do you call good? I think it does okay. I think we get about 13 miles per gallon, but we did not tow the Jeep here. We just brought bicycles. So I think if you tow the Jeep, it gets about 1.5 miles less.
It's almost the same as the gas mileage in the Jeep.
Yeah, the Jeep gets about 17, and this gets between 11 and 13. If you drive it nice, you can get 13.
So when you're used to getting bad gas mileage in the first place, I guess it's not too off.
The Jeep gets horrible gas mileage.
I mean, Jeeps look nice and all that, and I used a right-hand drive Jeep for years while delivering mail, but personally, my choice, I would have not gotten a Jeep.
I like Jeeps.
I like them, but, are they efficient for my gas money?
No, not really.
Not at all. So, anyway, and what are the gas prices around the Keys?
Right now on the base here at Sigsbee Park, they call it Sigsbee Park, it's $4.07.
And that's for diesel.
That's for diesel. Off the base, I think it's close to $5. So there is a substantial difference between being on the base and off the base.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like that everywhere.
Yeah, there's a Circle K right out the gate, and I think it was close to $5.
Someone wanted to know if you would consider touring the UK.
Oh, the UK? In an RV? I don't know how the roads are over there do they have campgrounds readily available? Because what I hear in most countries, that's kind of an American thing, camping. They do more boondocking stuff. But I don't think
that might be after RV travels.
Yeah, I don't think camping in other countries is as easy.
Probably not. When I was in Israel, I did see a few campers, but not a whole lot.
Someone says diesel, and another one says...
He says they have lots of campgrounds in the UK.
Oh, do they? Okay, there you go.
We have to look into that, because I personally would like to go everywhere.
So they just need a bridge to go across the pond there, huh?
Okay. And a lot of people have been dying to know, what month are we heading to Alaska?
We are going to be leaving here.
Here meaning where?
Key West.
Okay.
In about a week. And then we have plans in Miami for a stopover to watch the Atlanta Braves play the Florida Marlins. How exciting is that? In Miami. So I do have a question for the viewers, because we got a hard time with this. Does anyone watching this stream, either now or after the fact, have any contacts in the Miami metro area for parking for one night for 4 hours? we would like to hear from you.
Funny thing, after Brett got tickets,
Yeah.
then looked into the parking, and they only have one parking area, was it,
They
for
have one,
RVs?
it's called West Parking Lot
And it's full.
3, and it's for buses and campers, and they're full.
So currently,
I
that is our
them,
problem, parking.
I emailed them, they got no response. So,
Yeah, and you probably won't.
Yeah.
So we're scouting out a parking spot to catch the game.
It can be a driveway. We don't need any utilities. The coach will be all buttoned up. All we're going to do is walk or bike to the game or Uber to the game.
And that is for Friday night, the 12th.
The 12th. Yeah.
So, or if you have any ideas for what's close around there, that would be a good place we could park.
There is a Coast Guard station 5.5 miles east across the waterway, but I'm concerned about parking there because I don't know what the hours on the gate are. I don't know that it's, I can get in, but they may have hours on the gate with no gate manning. Like it might be locked until morning and we'd be stuck. I left messages there too and didn't get any responses. So.
Yeah, and again, that's in Miami. Mm-hmm. What do they call that? The
Lone Depot Stadium.
Depot Stadium. It's changed so many different times I can't keep track. So that will be Friday night.
So shoot us an email if you have any good recommendations for feasible parking.
Because Brett's been dying to see his Braves play.
I will not deal with the traffic in Atlanta to see the Braves play, if you can even get tickets. I figure the Marlins, they haven't been that good for years. Maybe I can catch the Braves on the road. So I figured
I've been to that
back.
Stadium lots of times.
Yeah, I haven't. So it's something I'd like to see.
All right. So
we may be riding up to north of the stadium and then double back.
Did you ever answer my original question?
What's that?
What month are you heading to Alaska?
So we're leaving here.
Chasing squirrels.
Yeah, chasing squirrels. So we're leaving here in about a week or so. We've got 2 to 3 days to dance around getting back to Central Florida. We might be at McDill night, we might not. But it's just kind of a fluid situation those couple of days from the ball game back home. Then we're going to be about a week in the Otter Creek area, as my eye appointment is the same week or the week after the meeting. So we will be there for the 16th meeting. And we'll be...
Short story long?
Yeah, short story long, I guess. So, right after that eye surgery, we're going to be starting to... I haven't even
gotten to that question where you're answering. I'm just asking, what month are we heading to Alaska, sir?
What is this, April? So, end of April. It's going to be in April, toward the end of April. But we do have a stop in Virginia on our way up. Maybe Ohio,
we'll
too.
Get to all that.
So,
just answer the question.
April, end of April. But we won't get up there until...
I'm going to pretend like we're in the courts and I'm asking you questions.
We won't
just yes or no.
Yes. April. But we won't get up there until probably mid to late May.
I'm going to be the judge. I'll be the Ohio judge. I'm going to tell you. Just answer the question, yes or no, please.
Hey, my homeboy in Virginia says hi.
Okay. How much time are we going to be spending in Alaska?
We're going to spend the whole summer. So most of the campgrounds there are from mid-May to mid-September. So I'd say probably May to September.
That sounds good.
So May to June, July, August, September, and then...
What areas and driving routes are we going to explore?
We haven't determined. We are going to take the number 1 Alcan Highway. We're not going to mess with the Cassiar 37. We're going to go straight up the Alcan. I don't know yet where we're going to cross. A couple things depend on that. If we stop in Ohio or not. If we stop in Fargo or not. And then usually the more western you cross, you save a little.
We're definitely stopping in Ohio.
Okay, then, from Ohio, we'll be mapping that out probably from Ohio. the further west you travel in the United States before you start going north, the gas is cheaper in the United States than it is in Canada. So the taxes on gas there are through the roof. Through the roof.
I did order the milepost.
Oh yeah, so we should have a
So
milepost.
when we get back into town, we can look through the milepost and
Yep.
start mapping
And
it
start
out
mapping
better.
it out, yeah.
So, because right now we haven't done any of that, but I did order it because it just came out April 1st, the newest edition.
Somebody
So-
said Miami has truck stop parking by the hour. That would work. How close to the stadium though?
Interesting.
Oh, they might be right along the I-95 corridor, I guess. And I think the stadium's fairly close to I-95.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, we'll look at that. Thank you. That would be a safer place. We have some ideas, but I don't feel good about it.
He hasn't even been around there.
No, but I've driven through
But
there.
he's heard the stories. I've been around there enough to know you shouldn't feel good about it.
No, I don't.
Will you travel the Appalachian Trail?
Oh, I don't think we're going to have time to do that this trip up. But when we come back,
It is on my list.
it is
that
on
I
our
want
list.
To do.
We do want to do that. Yeah,
There's so many things I want to
for
do.
sure.
Have you been to Jimmy Buffett's recording studio?
We didn't go in, but we've walked by it a couple of times. It's up on the pier up
Yeah,
there by Mallory Square.
there's stickers all over the side of
So. Yeah,
it.
there's stickers all over it.
We did ride on the trolley this week,
Mhm.
and they were talking about it and saying it's funny because everybody knows it's there because it's pretty much like this unmarked building,
But it's very
but
marked.
everybody knows what it is and what goes on. And
Yeah.
I guess different artists pull up in their yachts in the middle of the night and try to sneak in there,
Yeah, Kenny Chesney is known to do that.
but we didn't bang on any doors. But we
No.
did walk by.
But we did take the trolley around the island. We actually went around it like 1.5 times because you can get on and off the trolley during the day. And you get a lot of information on the trolley. And there'll be a video on that later. But he pointed out a few things that let's go back and look at that. Let's go back and look at that.
I personally think whenever they have the trolley things, that's probably one of the first things you should do.
It is.
Because you get familiar with things. You
The
can
area,
ask the
yeah.
tour guide questions about
Yeah.
what they think is the best places to eat and go to, and
Yeah.
they'll give you good information. Also, each different one gives you different pieces of information, so
Right.
if you ride with different people, that's best.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of the first things you should do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I know they have one in St. Augustine too.
They do. Yeah.
So
I think they're owned by the same company.
they are, yeah. They have ones in a couple different states.
Thank you, Jason.
Well, that was clucking cool.
I know, right?
So the big question everybody wants to know.
What is it? What's
It's
the big question?
huge. Will you and me be in OC Tuesday night for the meeting?
We do plan to be there for the Otter Creek meeting. We will be streaming it live because we are still in the area. We haven't left yet.
And that's not this Tuesday, but it's next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
The 16th?
The 16th, I
Yep,
believe, yes.
7 p.m.
7 o'clock.
So we'll definitely be there. Who
There's-
knows what's going to happen?
Who knows what's going to happen?
It's anybody's guess.
I'm
Will there be a
kind of
meeting?
Expecting.
Won't there be a meeting?
I'm expecting some.
Should I bring my
odd
air
things.
guitar?
Ukulele.
I probably shouldn't bring the microphone. But thank you, Debbie, for that really cool gift you gave me this
Mhm.
week. Debbie gave this beautiful ukulele, and I'm so excited. It's waiting for us when we get back home.
Yeah,
So
and
thank you so
Deanna
much.
sent us a video of her gifting that to Madam Mayor, so that was nice. Thank you. Thanks, Tom.
Tom wants to know if we made it to the butterfly place.
We did.
Matter of fact, we did, and we will make a video about it. I finally dragged Brett there because butterflies is not his thing.
I actually thought more of it after I saw it. I really wanted to see the flamingos, and that was about it.
Yeah, they have flamingos at that one, which
But
is
it was
cool.
pretty neat.
So he was reluctant to go.
But
He's broadening his horizons here.
I'm broadening my horizons.
He came to me untrained. We're trying to get him there. Yeah, there'll definitely be a tailgate party for sure.
For sure.
Jessica. I saw a place. I'll have to send you a text later. We saw a place, we thought of you. So I'll send you that later. What else?
We also had lunch at the Blue House.
Blue Heaven.
Blue Heaven.
Blue Heaven.
So there's a video on that coming soon. And then we went for ice cream.
Yeah.
I think it was a different day. But we went for ice cream, and this was supposed to be the best ice cream on the island, says the trolley driver. And the gossip around the town was this. Now, when you come to Key West, also understand this.
Everybody has the best
Everybody
of everything.
claims they are the best key lime pie.
Best key lime pie.
They are the best
The
ice
best
cream.
Cuban sandwich.
They are the best Cuban sandwich.
The best Cuban coffee.
And there are so many here that you can't possibly
And I've been
try
trying
them
to
all.
try as many as I can, especially the cafe con leche.
Oh, that is some good stuff.
Because I finally got him trained on that. So we're working on it.
The Queen, is that the Queen Coffee House? Is that the name
Cuban
of that
Queen.
one? Cuban Queen Coffee House. That was good. We had a Cuban sandwich. It was phenomenal.
So, yeah, we're trying to break him in. Now he's understanding a little bit about what he calls me. What do you call me? Food hoity-toity.
Food hoity-toity.
Because I know good food. Because when you live in South Florida, there's so much good food everywhere because there's so much culture everywhere. So you have so many choices and it's good. Then when you move up to a more rural area, it's not the same. So you miss those things.
Thanks, Jessica.
I can't check my phone right now. We're recording on it.
Her phone is up there.
You'll have to message Brett.
Yeah. My phone's over here. You can message me. Thanks, Jessica, but her phone is being utilized right now.
So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun eating the good food here. So it's like I feel a little bit more at home here. So.
Hey, Jessica, whatever you sent her, just send it to my phone because I can pull it up. My phone's over here on the table.
And another thing I wanted to remind people about, I did a post earlier this week, and I just want you all to be aware of the scammers around because I'm sure a lot of you have seen that there's a channel that is impersonating us and leaving comments when I do a community post and telling you to click on a WhatsApp. So just always question these things. I would never send out a post like that referring you to someone. If I wanted you to check something out, I'll do it in a live or a video. Yeah. I would never be telling you to send money to anything just randomly like that. So if you see something that looks weird like that, definitely report it. I think the people who sent me screenshots of it because it was like a disappearing spy bot. And when I see it says one reply and I try to click on it, you can't see anything anymore. It's disappeared. I did report the screenshots to YouTube and they're looking into it. But they...
she sent something for the overnight stays in Miami.
Oh, cool.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. So, you might have your sound turned off.
Yeah, I do. I have my notifications off.
But,
You want me to look at it right now?
Yeah, she said do it now. Crack it. Phew. So, YouTube's going to look into it. It would be great if I could just click.
You got my ukulele.
Are you
her ukulele.
I told you not to drool on that, Jessica.
You're getting it all wet.
You better clean that up. You know I love you. So anyway, just keep an eye out, and anytime you see anything that may look like a scam, don't click on it. Question things, and if it's asking for money, definitely don't give any.
Yeah,
I would not tell you.
We won't ask you for anything like that.
So,
somebody was asking real quick if we're going to be taking the ferry up to Alaska or driving. We're going to drive.
Yeah.
The whole fun part of that trip is driving. That trip is fun.
I'm so excited. I'm going to be like a kid in a candy store because
there's a
I've
lot
been
of
wanting to go to
wildlife.
Alaska since I was little. And to tell you the truth, when I was working in the Otter Creek post office, I was looking for a job in Alaska because I was ready to just hightail it.
You could have worked at the North Pole Post Office. You know it has 2 candy canes in front.
Yeah, there was a few job openings for a postal person, so it was
During Christmas, they get an insane amount of mail.
it was getting close.
There's only about 3,500 people living in North Pole. It's a little town outside of Fairbanks, but they get during Christmas so much mail. So much mail.
All right. So a lot of people too have been asking, is there anything we don't like about this camper?
There's a couple little nuances which you'll have with any camper. Of course, you know about the steps going in and out, but that's been identified. The magnets aren't there's 2 magnets in the door jamb and 2 on the door, and they're not lining up completely. They overlap. So I just need to adjust them or stick some foil in there, and it works. The drawers, sometimes if you're going over a little like a bump in the road where there's a transfer on pavement, and your coach rocks left and right, the drawers will roll out on you onto the floor. So
yeah, there seems to be one in each of the 3 sets that likes to do that. So, and unfortunately, the child locks don't work.
They work on one.
Only on one.
The other 2 we're going to have to come up with something else.
Not the one that's falling out, of course, because that would just be too easy.
Right.
Another thing I think is in the bathroom, the shower drain should be further recessed into the floor because it kind of sits up too high, so a little bit of water stays right around that drain area.
Yeah.
Not a huge thing,
Yeah.
more nitpicky.
Just little stuff.
There's also a towel holder in that bathroom that I think they hung down too low, because if you hang a towel there, it sits over the top of the toilet paper holder. So I'm going to have to adjust that at some point because it should be about a foot higher, which they could have done.
We also did a little video skit, if you will, about the washing machine, and so that'll be coming out shortly as well.
Yeah, we did some wash and that. Another thing I think would be cool is if this Murphy bed had a hinge to where it folded up halfway.
Yeah, what it does is there's about 1 foot of headboard that doesn't move, and then it goes straight up like this. I wish there was a bifold about halfway where it could fold and then fold.
Yeah,
like
that
a
would
2-fold hinge system.
make it nicer and easier just to flop that over during the day and give you more walking room. Because right now what we do is most of the week we just leave the bed down, and then on my cleaning day and laundry day we put the bed totally up, vacuum, do all those things, and then we'll leave it down the rest of the week. But if it had that hinge to just fold up out of the way, that would be nicer. That's one of the things I would improve. Other than that, I don't really see too many things.
Yeah,
I get up earlier in the morning. Brett likes to sleep in, so I do wish there was more of a partition. There is this curtain that you can pull shut, but you know, that's just another little nitpicky, I can deal with it type of thing.
Yeah, and I can sleep through stuff, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's a much heavier sleeper than I am. So I wish there was a partition that blocked snoring.
I don't snore.
Yeah, he doesn't snore. So, anywho, I don't think there's anything else really.
I think the big thing that's going to affect your sleeping when we go north is going to be the light, the daylight. To me...
You just pull down the shades.
Yeah, but the shades don't block all the light. You don't understand. Up there during the summer, you're going to have full-on noon light at 10 at night.
It'll be fine.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
And if I have to put tinfoil in the windows and be labeled as one of those people...
They will. They'll call you a lower 48.
I don't care.
Lower 48 person.
I'll make a foil hat too and protect myself from the aliens. You know it.
Tell them Alaskan people what they call them. They're from the lower 48. That's what they say.
If that's what I have to do. But I don't think I'm going to have to do that, to be honest. You're just trying to get back at me for my snoring comment. Okay. Then people want to know, have you ever thought about going to Panama City or Destin?
Yes, it's on the list. It's on the list.
It's a gorgeous place.
We want to try to get on the base there, and I believe I did call, but we didn't have any dates nailed down. We were just going to do a go and come back.
So maybe when we head back to Florida at the end of our Alaska journey, when we're heading back, maybe we'll hit that. We still have to plan the whole rest of that.
If I'm remembering correctly, too, they were pretty pricey for fan camps. They have them, but they were like, oh my gosh, they're almost as what they cost in Destin.
Which is weird, because I think they were even more pricey than the Keys, were they not?
They were up there, and I didn't understand why, and so I just kind of dropped it, didn't look any further. But something that's on our list, yep.
Yeah, because it is beautiful, so I definitely want to go there. We've been wanting to go there since we were traveling with towing RVs around.
Yeah, someone says the Air Force Base there in Niceville. Yeah, is that Eglin? If it's not Eglin, it's the other one. There's two of them right there.
Then another question someone wanted to know is Key West in the Devil's Triangle.
I guess you mean by the Devil's Triangle, you mean the Bermuda Triangle, and it's not. The Bermuda Triangle goes from Bermuda, the islands of Bermuda, to Miami, and then down to Puerto Rico and back. So Key West is south and west of that triangle.
We're a few conch shells away from it.
A few conch shells away, that's right.
And then a lot of people were asking after our lighthouse videos, how far is the water from the lighthouse?
Okay, so that lighthouse, that's not its original location where it is today. It did get destroyed during a hurricane, and it had to be rebuilt, and they moved it back onto high ground. So it's like one block off of Duval Street now, which, what is it? Everything's one block off of Duval.
Yeah, it's not extremely far from the water. It's just farther from the water than you're used to seeing a lighthouse being.
Yeah, you're used to seeing it right on the water, and it's not in its original location anymore.
Yeah, we thought that was weird too.
Mm-hmm.
Or odd. And then a lot of people also are asking, and it was a question I had too, is why there's roosters and hens.
Thanks, Roberta.
Why the roosters and hens are running loose all over the island.
Oh, tell that story. That's interesting.
It's a pretty funny story. But when the people came over from Cuba, they brought their culture, their good food, their wonderful coffee. They also brought their roosters, and they liked cockfighting.
Yeah.
So eventually they made the cockfighting illegal. So they thought if they released all of their roosters and hens out onto the streets that they would get that overturned. Well, that did not work. It stayed in place. However, all the roosters and hens decided to hook up, and they made lots of little babies, and they are just running all over now, and they're protected.
They're protected. You can't touch them.
You cannot touch them. There's a $500 fine or up to 30 days in jail if you mess around with any of them. So I think, and they're pretty respectful from what I've seen. The people don't mess with them. Kids, of course, like to chase after them because kids love to do that type of stuff with birds, but that's all I've really seen. But the roosters are all over. They're kind of cool.
We were in a restaurant, and there was a rooster that they're all around your feet and everything. It's crazy. So this rooster flew up on top of one of the umbrellas over a table, and it's knocking off all the leaves onto the people's food on
he
the
was
table.
causing
So they're going, oh man, picking leaves off, and they're looking up, and the rooster's just bouncing on.
He was having fun. But yeah, if you want some chicken nuggets, you better go to the store and buy them already made. Don't pick up one of the roosters, because that'll be a very expensive dinner. $500. All right. Another question somebody asked, and I'm not quite sure which tree they were asking about, but they want to know, what are the big round trees?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming maybe they're talking about the banyan trees, because the banyan trees, they can be very big, but they have all these little shoots coming off of it, and if you don't snip them, they can spread out. I know we had them, they were in the lighthouse video, We were talking about them, and in Fort Lauderdale, there was banyan trees all over the place. And when we were kids, we loved climbing them because they get huge, and they have all these little roots, and so you could play like your Tarzan and climb all up in it and be a monkey, and we had a lot of fun.
So when those branches grow, they droop down, and then they grow and they touch the ground again. They take root again.
Right.
And they keep going. They spread. They can just spread throughout.
Yeah. So if you don't catch it,
if you don't trim them, they'll take root.
It could be a mess. I mean, it's the same stuff you have to really keep after. What's the other one I'm thinking of?
What's that other tree with the?
I got a brain fart going on.
Yeah, there's another tree. It's in a couple videos. We'll talk about it.
Don't talk bamboo. Bamboo too. If you don't keep up with that, that could spread.
It can get away from you.
Yeah. The ficus, we used to have a problem with that down in the Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale area because a lot of the builders planted the ficus, and those roots are water seekers, and they would travel for miles and tear up the sidewalks, the asphalt, and everything else. So, but everybody liked to have them because you could shape them really nice, and they'd make nice hedges and topiaries. There are a lot of kapok trees all over.
That's the other one.
I love the kapok tree, so they're really cool, and I'm gonna make a short little video about the kapok trees because I think they're so cool. So I don't think we showed any of those in a video yet, but there are several places that have them around Key West.
There's a big one right in front of the county courthouse.
When I grew up in Davie, we had a restaurant called the Kapok Tree Inn, and it just had the white birds. I don't remember which birds they were, but they would love to cover those trees every evening. People would pull off on the side of the road taking pictures. It was beautiful. So when I see the kapok trees, it always reminds me of being in Davie. That was also near Flamingo Gardens. So, and what else? And then you wanted to talk a little bit about the dry Tortugas.
Oh man, the dry Tortugas I think is an amazing place. At first glance, you don't think, it's a fort. Okay, we got a few of those around the United States, but you got to think about the historical value of it and where it is on the world map. Like we're in Key West, so to go to Fort Jefferson, which is the Tortuga, the castle there is called Fort Jefferson. You go due west. It's straight west. So Cuba is south. So it's about 70 miles to Cuba. By going to the Fort Tortugas, you're not any closer to Cuba. You might even be further, but you're straight due west. So when you get there, it's amazing that they built this thing when they did, and that it's even still standing with the materials that they had. And they had to bring, other than I forget the three materials they used to build, but they had to bring over 16 million bricks to build this thing. And these are not in shipping containers with cranes we have today to unload. This is manpower in the 1800s, loading and unloading wooden ships. That's just amazing when you think about where it is. So it's actually it's considered one of the Florida Key Islands. It is considered part of Florida, but it's a national park, and it's the least visited national park in all of the national parks. The least. Only 50,000 people view it or visit there every year. And the reason that is because it's so remote and it's so hard to get to it. They got restrictions on, you can't take jet skis and go out there. Not that I'd want to take a jet ski in the open ocean anyway. But you can't take your personal vessels out there without permits. You got to get permits. You got to get, and I don't know all the rules on that, but there's one ferry system here, that has the monopoly on the dry Tortugas, and it's the Freedom Ferry, and that's really the only way that I've heard to go.
Well, you can go that way, or you can
fly.
do a private charter, like a private fishing charter.
Okay.
I've seen a couple of those advertised, and those are about, I think, $2,200 a person for an 8-hour fishing trip.
Yeah.
There's seaplanes. There's one company that does the seaplanes, and I don't know the price of that offhand because I didn't get a chance to look it up.
I want to say it was around $3,300.
I remember it was pretty expensive.
It was up there.
Otherwise, I would have took it because it's a shorter trip. I want to say it's 70 minutes or something.
It's shorter,
I
but
don't remember. But it's very costly.
they double book you kind of on the plane. If you're only going to go there for a few hours and you do a half day trip, and it's like $3,000. But if you want to do the all day trip, they figure you're taking an extra seat that I could go back and get another person. So now they're charging you for a whole day. I don't really understand how that works, but it was expensive to take the seaplane. So for us, it was either the ferry or bust. We'll just go another time. But we got lucky, and the weather wasn't supposed to be great that day. There was supposed to be a storm passing through early in the morning. So we got 2 tickets that someone apparently probably canceled at the last minute.
For this time of year, the going rate was $220 a person on the Yankee Freedom.
Yeah.
We did get a discount and got ours for $194.50 each.
Yeah.
But I've heard people have told me that different times of the year, the prices might be cheaper than that. Someone was saying that in January it was under $100.
Oh wow!
I don't know. That's what they said. So you have to definitely look in at the time of booking to see. But I think, if you can go, it's definitely worth it.
I think it's neat.
I would have liked to go camping there, but right now the camping is closed because they're doing some dredging work. But that'll be back up. And when you camp there, you have to bring everything with you.
You have to pack it all. You have to pack in your
any
water
you're going to drink.
Pack your food. You got to pack a tent. Anything that you need to sustain yourself. And I think you can only stay a couple days or a day. You can't stay a long time.
I forget what the cutoff is. You'd have to look that up.
Yeah.
Hi, Turkey. Hope you're feeling well.
Yeah.
What else? The iguanas.
Oh man.
Now Brett is not used to this. Growing up again in Hollywood and Fort Lauderdale, I'm used to this. There's iguanas all over the island running cuckoo luku.
Yeah.
They are the same back home, and they can be a real nuisance.
Some of them can be
huge,
long, 2 to 3 feet long, and they'll scare you. You'll be riding your bike and you'll run up on one.
Oh, the funniest thing that day, we were coming this way on our bikes, and there were some people coming this way, and it was right near some water, and there was a huge iguana here, and he saw the 2 bikes coming, and he jumped off the side of the bridge into the water. I said, man, if one of us would have had some camera rolling, that was a great action shot, because his legs were just spread out.
Like he was flying.
It was awesome, like a flying iguana.
But they're a bit of a nuisance.
They are a huge nuisance. And they do have people that they hire to catch them because they just tear stuff up. I know even down south there's a lot of people that catch them and eat them. They said they taste like chicken. I personally have never tried them, but I know if you are catching them, you do need to be careful, because if they whip you with those tails, they could cut your arm right open. I know people who have owned them before, and if you don't handle them all the time, they can be quite nasty. And even the people who own them, when they quit handling, they themselves got whipped with the tails and they got their arm all ripped up. But so if you don't know what you're doing, don't just go running up to iguanas and trying to catch them. The easiest time of year to catch them is when it's cold outside, because they like
They slow down.
the alligators, they pretty much kind of are hibernating. They don't like the cold weather. So I know living in Fort Lauderdale, we've seen them in different places when it was cold, and we had handled them, so we would pick them up when they were a nuisance somewhere and relocate them. But we knew what we were doing. So I don't recommend everybody just do that.
No.
Yeah, everybody says everything tastes like chicken, right? I've not seen any iguanas on that property.
No.
But yeah, they are all over down here, and they are a nuisance. So if you like to eat iguana, come on down. You can have some island iguana.
Yeah, there's plenty of them.
You just put a little key lime juice, because they make key lime everything here. Key lime mustard. Put key lime mustard on your iguana.
Chocolate dipped. key lime pie on a stick. That's a thing now down here.
I had some key lime tartar sauce that was delicious.
They like key lime down here.
We went on a dinner cruise and the food was really good, and they had a key lime tartar sauce.
Mm.
So, and I know even down or up from here in the Hollywood area, the pythons out in the Everglades, they're a nuisance. So they have people
Hunting
to
them.
hunt the pythons.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know if we have all of our campgrounds booked.
We
Nope.
just booked one up in Fairbanks, Alaska. It's actually in North Pole. And I'll tell you guys more about that campground because when I first went up there in 1997, I stayed there for a few months waiting to get quarters on the base. It's right behind the base. It was called Riverview RV and Quick Stop. It had a little gas station there, it's a grocery store. It's now been bought out. I was looking at buying it, but they were selling out it had a liquor store and they were selling out all the gas and selling out all the liquor. So he wanted like $750,000 just for the gas station, but it wasn't going to come with any product. And the building was falling down, the floor needed repaired. It was a lot just for that space. You're just buying that space.
Sounds
So
cray.
I walked away from it. There was a lot of shady dealings with the people that owned it at the time, but
Did
now it's a KOA.
Did they have a Slurpee
And-
machine?
I don't remember. They had ice cream, but it's a KOA now, so KOA owns it. I called the guy, I talked to him. He actually lives in Tampa, and he's on his way up there. He's leaving in the next couple of days to go back up there and open up because their campground's shut down. They completely close on the 15th of May and they're done. Well, they open on the 15th of May. They close on the 15th of September and they're done. But those dates are flexible. It all depends on what the weather's doing. But he said because there's been less snow this year than the year before, he's going up there early. He may be able to open up earlier. So we went on and booked from May 15th to the end of June. But we don't have to use that whole time. He just wanted to block a site for us. And he did. I was able to negotiate a little bit of a discount, but it's going to be $1,200 a month. And then he'll prorate the days above 30 days. So that wasn't too bad. So at least we have a place to go because I was concerned about getting on the two bases for different reasons. The Wainwright campground is looking to expand and they may not even open on the 15th. And so that was a problem. And then the one on Eielson that's about 20 miles out of Fairbanks, that one's very primitive. They don't have any dump on the campsites. It's just a dump site. And then it's very overly vegetated from what I was reading on reviews. And if you are camping in vegetated areas, the mosquitoes are horrendous. They are the worst I've ever seen anywhere, bar none. Florida doesn't have mosquitoes compared to these things. They're atrocious. They're dinosaurs with wings, and they will pick you up and carry you away. And you're just like you can't even go outside. They get so bad. So I didn't want to get in there and get in a campground that we were just going to be miserable because you can't even open the door. So I had concerns about that. And if that campground's going to be mostly dry, you can camp anywhere in Alaska dry camping. So we needed to lock something down, but we don't necessarily have to use it. So we'll see what happens there.
We have to try to turn Brett into a planner. He doesn't like to plan at all. So,
It's so
I
far-
could ask him, I could literally ask him, like say I asked him at 8 o'clock tonight, what do you want to do tomorrow? He's going to be like, woo, that's a little too far in advance. Want to slow it down? I'm like, are you serious? So we're trying to get there. We're trying to find a happy medium here.
Yeah, and I know about Canada's gun laws, taking guns through there.
Someone was also asking about having a join button, and I don't know, are you referring to memberships? Are you asking us when we're going to have memberships? I only caught a piece of it.
Yeah, you can shoot more questions to her through the email too if we miss them on the stream because they scroll
But
off the stream.
If that's what you're referring to, the memberships, I don't know if
I'm
we're
not
going to
so
do
sure.
memberships or not.
Yeah, we're not really sure.
I don't know.
I'll let you know.
I guess we'll
Putting
think
up-
about it.
Right now, we're our schedule is kind of, we're putting up 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 o'clock. That's to stay consistent. And then we try to do a live on Sunday at 4. It's a lot of work, though. It's a lot of work. And sometimes, right now, she's doing all the editing because I haven't really learned how to do it all yet. So, it's a lot. It's very tedious and it's very time consuming. And sometimes it's frustrating because you got to have good connectivity. We got a laptop. There's some things you can do on there you can't do on your phone. There's a lot to it.
And I'm trying to find a good balance,
A balance.
to still be able to enjoy where I'm at
Yeah.
and get the work done. So I don't know. We'll look into the membership thing.
But that means you got to have more content. Which
So
means, it's more work.
we'll have to have a
We'll see.
meeting about this.
We'll have a meeting.
There better be some cafe con leche at this meeting, or
That's
I'm not
right.
attending. I'll just tell you that right now.
Thanks, Kilobyte.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank
Up,
you.
up.
Are you clucking it all up
I'm
in here?
clucking it up.
All right. Someone also want to know if we're going to visit Canada.
Yeah, we're going to drive all the way through Canada. We don't know where we're going to cross exactly, either British Columbia or the province right next to it. But probably the Montana area we'll cross over. We're not sure yet exactly where.
It's that planning thing again.
So it don't matter where you cross. As long as you go north and west. North and west.
And I
north
can
and
guarantee you we're going to have to go up there and go around different places more than once because there's just so many things to
west.
see.
There's a lot to see.
Like even coming back to the Keys, we were talking about that earlier. And of course, next year I want to come back to the Keys. And I said, because we were talking about what are we going to do this week? And we talked about a few things. And then it was like, okay, well, we still got to leave a few things left for next season. And
Right.
Brett's like, what's there going to be left to do? And I'm like, there's still this. And then I want to repeat everything I enjoyed. So
I can sum up Key West. People who will love Key West are, number 1, seafood lovers. 2, nightlife people. If you like bars,
I don't go to bars. And I
Duval
still love the
Street,
Keys.
that's all it is. From one side of the island to the other, both sides are nothing but bars. Every kind of bar you want. They even got nude bars. So they got every kind of bar here. It would be hard to even visit all of them. I mean, you can walk in them and out of them with your drink in your hand, I'm told. So there's not a lot of, and we haven't been down on Duval Street at night.
Nope.
We haven't. Just because of what you can see at 3 and 4 o'clock. It's
I'm
like,
not
I
a
can
big party
imagine.
person.
I can imagine 10 o'clock at night down here is insane.
And I don't hang out in bars, so.
Yeah, she's not a bar person. I haven't been to bars in years. So this is really a party, like a younger crowd.
But you don't have to.
I understand that. You don't have to. Like, my cousin was even telling me, oh, why do you want to go to Key West? All they have are slinky bars down there. You don't have to participate in that. They got parasailing, they got museums, they got fishing, they got water sports, they got everything that you would want down here. But I'd say, yeah, number 2, definitely if you're a partier, this is one of those places. If you're into fishing or water sports, this is a good place. And museums are abundant. There's a lot of history here, so if you're a history buff, that's abundant. If you're gonna bear the expense to come all the way down to Key West, though, you gotta book in the dry Tortugas. You absolutely have to get to the Tortugas.
I want to go back there next time
Now,
and go camping.
I understand I wouldn't spend $3 and $4 grand to fly out there, but if that's what you got to do and that's where you're at in your life and that's not a problem for you and you can just do it, do it. It's definitely a must see. You must see the dry Tortugas. I'm so happy we got to go there because I just didn't think we'd get a chance to go because those things book up 9 months in advance.
Yes, Markham Park is still there outside of Davie. Matter of fact, we did stay there tent camping. It was over a year ago when we were delivering something.
How far is that though from
We
the
were
stadium?
hauling. It's a little ways from the stadium. You couldn't just ride bikes there. We did talk about possibly staying there in between because we did like it over there. I grew up around there and have stayed there a lot, but I don't think we'll be staying at Markham this go round. But yeah, it's still out there on the outskirts.
It's on the table.
But that's another thing. since Brett's going to get to go to a Braves game,
Yeah.
I said that means that I get to go to Jackson's Ice Cream, right?
Oh yeah, we're trying to go to Jackson's.
I'm going to also try to get him to swing through and get a sub at Las Patas.
So
Anybody who knows that area in Davie knows Las Patas subs on University is some really good stuff.
So we're taking advantage of our. We have to go back through or close to Miami to get out of here anyway. So, like, oh, let's look at the baseball schedule. Wouldn't you know it? The day that we're going through Miami, the Braves are in town. What are the chances? So, I was like, let's try to get this. Let's see if this is possible. So we're going to leave here on the. We check out on the 12th, and we have to be out of here by the 11 o'clock. It says it's a 3.5 hour drive, but you need to plan for a 4.5 to 5 hour drive because the traffic. And that's a Friday too, so it's gonna be nuts. So you have to plan longer, and then Jackson's Ice Cream is up in Dania Beach, so you have to go north of the stadium, and then you have to get in there. It's gonna be Friday. It's gonna be probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You might not get in there because lines go around the freaking building. Thanks, Tricky.
Oh, Tricky released a video on Easter of her dog.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to check that
Yeah,
out.
we'll check that out. So we'll just have to see what the time schedule is. We may have to kick out of here a little earlier than 11 to get started.
Or we're just going to be down there later because I'm getting me some Jackson.
The game is not until 7:10, so you do have like 8 or 9 hours. It's 3.5 hours. You still got 5 hours, but don't think that time don't go by fast.
If I have to stay in TY Park near there to get Jackson's, I'm making it happen.
Okay,
We're just gonna make it happen.
We might have to make it happen.
So I'm not getting Scrooged out of my Jackson's again.
We just want a safe place to park this motorhome so nobody tampers with it.
The Braves are going to be playing against the Marlins.
Yes.
Sorry for that.
Oh.
I grew up there. I mean, I can't say much for the Marlins. Thanks, Jessica. I love you too.
Oh, you ate all the birthday cake. I wanted some of that cake.
I'm not even going to be around for my birthday.
I was asking them if you think they're going to save us a piece of cake.
I
She's
told
like,
you
that
no
cake
way.
Ain't gonna last.
I told you no way.
That cake's going to be gone.
You're in the Keys. Do you think they care about your cake needs?
Yeah, I have cake needs. Serious cake needs.
They're like, you're down there eating key lime pie. We don't care.
Yeah, you do, but if you want to eat key lime pie on a budget, you eat it once. It's like $7.50 for a slice like this big. Literally, it's a triangle about this big with $7.50.
That's good for your girlish figure.
Yeah.
You can't gain a lot of weight then. How about that? Someone else was asking if we're going to be going to Williamsburg, Virginia.
I grew up in Virginia. I was actually born in Petersburg and lived up in Ashland. So I know the Richmond metro area. Thank you, Rose. Get your bathing suit and go swimming in the ocean. Yeah. We didn't actually bring a bathing suit to Key West, but I have a bunch of elastic shorts that we can swim
Yeah,
in
that's
the
a
ocean.
bathing suit. Like,
Yeah.
you don't really need a bathing
don't
suit.
really
You
need a
just
bathing
get your
suit.
shorts and go.
Yeah. Yeah, we did actually swim in the ocean when the parasailers dropped us in the ocean. Does that count?
Sure it counts.
We ate that one key lime pie at the restaurant too.
Well, they used to live in Powhatan, Virginia.
Oh,
There's a
that's-
Powhatan
Tell her
in
how to say
Ohio.
it. Tell her how to say it. It's Powhatan.
Oh, well, in Ohio,
It's Powhatan.
It's Powhatan. So, whatevs.
That was funny. But yeah,
That's okay.
Williamsburg is out toward Virginia Beach. So from Richmond, it's east on 64. There's a few things there to see. There's Jamestown, Yorktown, where they have the old like Mayflower ships and stuff like that. Then you have Colonial Williamsburg, which is an area of Williamsburg that is kept looking colonial looking. So that's a neat tourist place to go. I haven't been there since I was in grade school.
I've never been to Virginia. I've been to West Virginia, near the Ohio border. When I visit my sister, we usually go to Wheeling.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think we'll like the western part of Virginia better than the northeastern part of Virginia. The northern part of Virginia. Hi, Dahlia. Thank you. Ooh, that's a good one. So, the eastern part of Virginia, Virginia Beach, all the way up to Alexandria, that is a very densely populated area. Hard to move and navigate around traffic in a motorhome. Not that you can't do it, but those are going to be some of your challenges.
So yeah, when we travel, we're going to be going up to Virginia. We're definitely going through Ohio because I'm going to be visiting my sister Audrey and all my nieces and nephews. So I can't wait to see them. It's been a while now.
And maybe if the Hales are home and they don't mind having visitors at Hales headquarters, we might can swing by there because we are going north, and I believe they are north of there. So we'll figure that out.
We'll see all those things.
Maybe we could stop in for a day or something.
I don't know, but yeah, I know someone even asked if we have brothers and sisters and all that. So I have 2 sisters. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I have 3 sisters. Sorry, I didn't mean to miscount anybody. So I have 3 sisters, and they want to know younger, older, and I'm pretty much like in the middle. And my sister Audrey, my older sister, me and her are a year apart, so we're really close. She's the one who lives in Ohio. And my younger sisters are quite an age difference. I have one younger sister that lives in Florida and one younger sister that lives in Tennessee. So they're both younger than me.
And I have one sister, and she's about 2 years younger than me, and she also lives in Florida.
So, yep. So I can't wait to visit. I haven't seen everybody for a while, so I'm going to have, even though it won't be as long as I want it to, we're going to Alaska, so we'll have to cut it a little bit short of what I would like, but we'll have to catch up.
We'll have a lot more time on the way back. And it depends on what the weather's doing.
Right.
Because you're in a motorhome and you don't want
you really don't know.
The roads and whatnot.
So you got to reroute things on the fly because there's just like a ton of different places I'd love to visit. I'd love if we ever get a chance to go through New Jersey. My friend owns a pizza place that's really good, and I'd like to stop in there. His wife makes award-winning cheesecake. They're called Up the Creek if you're ever near them in, now I can't think of the town, is it Wutage? It's in New Jersey, it's called Up the Creek. So if you're ever around there, check them out. They make good food.
Those are some of the states that I've never visited, is the upper New England area. I've been as far north as, I think, Maryland, and then Maine. I flew through Maine a couple times actually, but didn't deboard the plane. This was a military flight. But all those states in between, like Rhode Island, Delaware, New Hampshire, Vermont.
Better get your clucker.
Even Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
I haven't been to those upper New England states. I mean, usually and I may be wrong here, but that area of the country seems to me to be very congested, and we just don't like to be around a lot of people and congestion and traffic and tolls and blah, blah, blah. We like wide open spaces. We like mountains. I prefer mountains over Key West, to be honest. Me personally, I think the Alaska trip is going to be amazing.
Well, of course.
And this is great, but I don't think it's going to rank with Alaska. And I've been there. And I didn't really get to see all of it because when you work there, you work.
That's why I think you should snowbird and go from Alaska to the Keys, from Alaska to the Keys, and have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, I like Key West. If you're ever down here, definitely see that. Definitely go to the Tortugas.
And for me, growing up down here, to me, it just feels more like home. So, what can I say? I still love the mountains and all those things too. I just feel at home here. Yeah. But I wouldn't want to live here all year round. I'd like to snowbird back and forth.
Yeah, I don't want to live here all year. Yeah, this is definitely not an all year round place.
Someone also had asked if we've tried the frozen key lime on a stick, and we have not.
We did the key lime dipped in chocolate on a stick.
Yeah, but it's not the frozen one. There's another one that's a frozen one.
Everything here has key lime in it.
So no, we haven't tried that one. And someone else was asking if we've been to the Theater of the Sea. Unfortunately, no. I would love to go there. I would love to go swimming with the dolphins there. But no, we're not going to make it this time around. But if we come back through next time, I don't know if we'd be bringing the Jeep or not. That's been the problem too, is while we're here down in Key West without the Jeep, we can't really go very far because we only have our bicycles.
We kind of wanted to see Boca Chica. It's another part of the Naval Air Station that's here at Key West, but it's north, back off of this key. It's like the next key. It's 2 keys up, actually. It's 2 islands north. But it's like 6 miles, and you can't, they suggest not taking that bike over that bridge because the traffic and there's no bike trails, you can get hit. So we haven't visited Boca Chica, but that was a place I wanted to see. Hey, Mountain State, appreciate you.
Said you really need to have the Hales bring you to Devil's Pinch.
Oh.
We'll have to check out that.
Check that out.
Let me write that
down.
But yeah, I really do want to go to the Theater of the Sea. I've heard great things about it. There was somebody, I think that's where she was talking about that she had interaction with a gator. And did she brush the gator's teeth? And the gator painted her a picture. I think that might have been where she was talking about. But yeah, I really want to go there, so maybe next year.
I'd like to see the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
I want to go everywhere. I want to go to Maine too.
Upper Peninsula. Yeah.
That would be fun. They say that Route 1 goes from the Keys, where it's mile 0 over there, all the way up to Maine.
Oh, guess where we visited? Not today. It's a couple of days ago this week. Guess where we went?
Where? Tell me.
We went to the southernmost post office.
Oh my gosh.
It's right across the street from mile 0. It says Highway 1, mile 0, and right across the street is the southernmost post office.
Yep, finally went in there. I had to get me a stamped envelope. So they had a very nice clerk working there.
Yeah,
she did a great job. Yeah. So very island.
But there was a line, and she was in no hurry. So that just goes.
It's island time,
It's
buddy.
island time. Yeah.
Don't act like you're a mystery shopper. I think mystery shop gives bad customer experience anyway.
A lot of people.
I don't know why they do that.
Is.
So a mystery shop is when somebody comes into the post office and they're checking to see if you asked all the right questions, if you pushed all the products, and they do a little scorecard on you, and then if you did great, you get 5 gold stars, and you get this little lanyard and a certificate.
It's like a secret.
A secret shopper.
Secret shopper, basically. Yeah, they're coming in. They're evaluating your performance.
Right, but what it does is because you're supposed to do this whole little spiel.
Do you remember how to do that spiel?
No, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
So you're pushing these products. Well, your customers that come there every day, you end up harassing them. Like, they don't want to hear that junk.
They get annoyed.
They know what they want, and you're just pushing stuff down their throat. So you would end up annoying the people.
So what really happens is some of these, and it's not smaller post offices. It's usually larger post offices.
How do we get on this?
I don't know.
You.
But anyway, so these shoppers, a lot of the senior clerks already know who they are. So when they see them come in the door, like, oh, we're being shopped. Sometimes they
put on your gold star
performance.
And later the supervisor's just going to shame the people who didn't get
they usually
shopped and get the...
Look, Jane and John got a gold star. Why can't you guys do this?
And I would
come to my
simply
line.
say...
They got to go to your line.
I don't work for lanyards. Anywho, let's get off of that.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
You got anything else?
Weirdo. Yeah. I want to know... Inquiring minds want to know, what are we doing this week?
Oh, put me in a tough spot. This week?
I'm forcing you to plan right here in front of the planet.
The planet. I would say we still need to do the Hemingway house, the Truman White house. What's the one with the museum with the pirate ships. What's that one called?
Which one? There's a
The
shipwreck.
Fisher. The Mel Fisher.
Mel Fisher.
Mel Fisher.
That's with the treasures. There's
Mm.
also a shipwreck museum that probably has ships in it. So you gotta be careful. There's a ton of museums in Key West.
Now we've kind of stalled on going to these things. The Hemingway House is supposed to be the most visited tourist attraction, but I'll be honest.
It's also one of those things that Brett thinks he'd rather not go to.
Don't really interest me.
But I'm guessing that the same thing is going to happen that happened with the Butterfly Museum.
Yeah,
Afterwards, you're going to be like, man, that was really cool.
I'll find something about it that I like.
So
I will.
Sometimes it's hard. He drags
I'm a
his
positive
feet.
person. I always find something in it I like, even if I hate it.
Okay, well, I'm not even wearing my boots right now. So anyhow, I'm forcing him to plan. And we still need to go to Mallory Square to see a sunset.
Oh,
We
yeah.
haven't done that yet either.
The sunsets here are amazing, but there is Fleming, I think it's called Fleming Key, is between us and Mallory Square, so you don't get the water on the horizon. So we need to visit Mallory Square. That's going to be sunsets at 7:44 p.m., so we have to be out there at night. So being on the base, that means you have to have a helmet, which we have. You have to have lights, front and back, which we have. So it's not a problem. It's just you're going to be down there, Mallory Square, with thousands of people potentially, if it's a weekend. And that's where the cruise ships come in too.
Don't start being a poo-poo.
I'm not being a poo-poo. I'm just saying it's going to be people, so you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind right.
The chicken's going to go,
Get your mind
get
right.
your mind
Do
right. Too much sun, I think.
Too much sun.
But yeah, Mallory Square is awesome. See, you heard it here
It
first.
is. It is. I think
So
I like
it's
that.
something to experience. Don't be a crotchety old man.
The sunsets are amazing, but they don't compare to the Northern Lights. They
Apples
just
and oranges,
don't.
pal.
They just don't.
Anywho, you're gonna love it. Just do it. So yeah, we have like 4 days left this week to do stuff. So those are the things we're gonna try to fit in: is the Hemingway House, Mallory Square,
Yeah, and they're all very close to
the
each
White
other.
House, and possibly Mel Fisher's
Mhm.
treasure.
They're probably
museum.
all four of those are within the same quarter mile.
And that's probably about all that we're going to be able to pack in. And that still leaves a lot left for next time, because I still want to go on a sailboat, so that's going to be next time. Maybe have to go skydiving next time, swimming with those dolphins. There's a lot to do.
We looked at skydiving, but I don't think they do that on this island.
No,
You'd
it's
have to go
not.
north.
It's not on this island,
It's
so
on a
that would
different
definitely
key.
have to be a next time thing.
Yeah.
And on the way out of here, I'm hoping to hit the fish market in Stock Island, because I really would like to get some fish to bring back, and
Mhm.
because I love seafood, so
Yeah.
I definitely want to get some to bring back with us.
We like to visit the places the locals visit.
Yeah, we always
not
ask.
the touristy places.
We always ask the locals what they think is the best places to go hit up.
It was the trolley guy that told us about Blue Heaven.
Yeah, he told us
For
about
lunch.
Blue Heaven and the ice cream place that we went to, and the captain from the parasailing told us about a couple good fish markets.
Yeah.
So,
But one of them is not on this island. It's on Stock Island.
right, which is on the
Which
way
isn't
out of here.
far.
So when we hit it on Friday, we'll try to stop in there for sure.
Yeah.
Because I definitely would love some seafood.
Yeah.
I would like some lobster and some shrimp.
I'm on a seafood diet. Did you know that?
Are you?
I see food, I eat it.
Oh, that explains a few things. We need to quit doing that.
Well, guys, do you have any more questions for us that we didn't hit on before we wrap this up?
Always go with the local spots.
Yeah, that's what we try to do.
Yeah, it's always good to talk to the locals. They give you good ways of avoiding traffic situations and don't send you to all the tourist traps. Are you watching the eclipse? When is that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I read something online about it. What's the anchor? Stock Island this weekend.
Oh, we're getting some good ideas
Yeah, we're
here.
getting some
Tomorrow.
ideas.
Tricky says it's
Oh,
tomorrow.
okay.
Ooh, I'll have to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Salmon fishing, we definitely want to do that. Hopefully some halibut fishing. She's never had halibut. And I know Florida brags on their red snapper fish for the most part. And you have a lot of species of fish here. But none of it, I'm telling you, none of it touches halibut. Halibut is delish.
Yeah, someone said we're getting good color. I was just looking at that earlier.
Yeah.
I'm starting
Dark.
to feel like a mail carrier again. I used to have a very tan right arm. Oh, flippin' adventures. Thank you.
Flippin'.
You know I love my cafe con leche.
Yeah.
I definitely was thinking about her when I got my last cup of
Yeah.
Cuban. I'm like, oh, I wish
Cuban
my bud
food.
was here to enjoy this.
Where's Deanna? She would like this.
So, always thinking of the good people whenever you're out enjoying. It makes you miss certain people that you love and love to hang out with. So,
Yeah.
I know sometimes when you're sending them a picture of stuff, they're like, dang it. But just know that we're always thinking of you, and that means we love you. So, not trying to rub it in your face, just wishing you were with us. So, always remember that.
Yep.
So, anything else?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You guys got anything else?
You got anything else? Do y'all want to see the water on our way out?
I don't know. Alaska has the best halibut. I can't wait.
Wow,
I'm really, really stoked for Alaska. I might never want to leave there. Someone want to know, is there any new news? We haven't got any new news about anything.
No, not really.
We haven't heard much about Otter Creek lately. I guess when we get back, we'll be back into that for a week or two. I'm hoping that we somehow, within that little time frame that we're going to be back down there, that I can get to St. Augustine for 2 or 3 days in between the town hall meeting and Brett's eye appointments.
We have about a week there we have to kill.
So I'm hoping and praying that we get to go to St. Augustine, because I'd like to visit, of course, the fort there, the lighthouse, and the Columbia restaurant.
So if we can't get a campground close to St. Augustine, we're considering using Camp Blanding again. If we can get into Camp Blanding, we'll take our Jeep with us so we can dispatch it for a day trip to St. Augustine. It's what, about a 45-minute drive?
Roughly.
But you can do that. That's doable.
Yeah, and you'll have so much fun. So I'm hoping that we get to do that in between our time in Otter Creek and the eye
23rd.
appointment.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we'll stay at a campground in Otter Creek.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Who
Which
knows?
one? Who knows? There's so many now, right?
Yeah.
I've heard there's like 5 different campgrounds in Otter Creek. I could tell you which one I'm definitely not staying at.
Yeah.
Is that the Turd Ground? The Turd Campground. I'm not staying there.
They have turtle sanctuaries here in Key West.
They're real though.
Real ones. Real ones.
They want to help the turtles.
Yeah.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can rent the scooters in St. Augustine and go on the trolley too.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea.
And they have a Ripley's Believe It or Not too, don't they?
Yep, I've been in there before. I had a lot of fun in there. They have Wax Museum. They have a ton of stuff.
I mostly want to see the fort. I think the fort will be
Yeah,
good.
you'll enjoy the fort. You'll enjoy the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
You'll enjoy the Columbia restaurant. I keep throwing that in
I
there.
bet the food is good.
It is absolutely good. Hi.
Hi. So, before we say goodbye, we're going to go ahead and show you our view outside on the way out.
Oh, we have to go. That's right. We're gonna stay at the.
Oh, we have to go to
Tube
Tubetown. The Tubetown
We're gonna stay at
campground.
the Tubetown campground.
Oh, that'll be cool. You guys ready to see what we see every day?
I'm not even gonna touch the camera.
The camera's a little finicky. Alright.
You gotta put on your shoes.
I'm gonna flip this camera around here. What are you doing?
I want to come with you.
Let's check this out.
Don't take my rug.
So at 7:30 every day, all the campers here come out on the grass strip there by the water and they wait for the sunset. So there's our little camper.
What you looking at?
Come on out, Madam Mayor.
What are you looking at? Look at these people. They're having fun.
You know, there's boats and jet skis that go by here every day, and some people are snorkeling out there. And they got diver flags down.
Woo! That's the place to be right there, out on a boat.
Yep.
The water looks a little low today.
It does look lower, doesn't it?
It is. It is very low.
Someone said go shelling at Sanibel Island.
Oh, yes.
That place got tore up by the last hurricane. Or the one before that.
I think we've had this conversation.
But yeah, that's on our list too. We won't have time to do it if we're
I
trying to
love
get to
Sanibel.
Alaska. We're going to be kind of crunched for time by the time we leave.
He's never been to Sanibel either.
I have not. Nope.
That was definitely a fun place to go. I like to hula hoop on the beach there.
There's all the campers lined up. You can see people sitting out already getting ready for the sunrise, or sunset rather.
Look, they're saying hi.
What? Oh,
They're doing,
they're waving.
blowing the kisses. You missed it. I think he's blowing the kisses.
I don't think so. So this is Naval Air Station Key West on Sigsbee. What do they call it? Sigsbee Park, I think they call it. Oh, another question about dependents and others trying to camp here. You do have to have a military ID card, so either active duty, retiree, and depending on location, there's different rules for each park as far as like signing on dependents. One guy was asking me about can his son come here, and I'm like, I don't know. That varies from place to place. Some people do allow that, where you can sponsor family members to come on, and other places don't. I think supply and demand has a lot to do with that as well. And this is a well sought out campground. The only time you see a space here is when someone's leaving and someone else is coming in. This place stays full. There's 3 rows. We're in the front row. We just got lucky with that. It's called the premium spot, but it's only $5 more than all the other spots. All these spots are full amenities, water, electric, and sewer on every spot. Some of the spots are gravel. We have a gravel pad only. Some of them in the second row I've noticed do have a concrete pad. But they're all pretty similar. There's 2 bathhouses here, one on each end of the campground. Someone said, "What's for dinner?" I have no idea what's for dinner. What's for dinner?
Why are you looking at me?
we answer these questions together.
You think I'm also the chef around
The
here?
chef, the YouTuber,
I have way
the pilot, the co-pilot.
I have way too many hats. That's
You got a
the
lot of
problem.
hats.
Bring your own key lime pie.
Here at Key Lime Pie.
I don't know, it might be leftover night because I do have some leftovers. We had some fried bologna with fried onions and potatoes. There's some
Yeah,
of
that was
that
good
left.
last night. Yeah, that
And
was
there's
good.
also some of the Korean barbecue I made
Yeah,
with the peppers and the rice.
yeah,
So it's probably going to be leftover night.
yeah. Leftover suits me fine because my appetite's not on full throttle tonight.
Oh, well, you should just have some soup and I'll let you know how good the other stuff was. How about that?
Well, so we're going to say goodbye to you guys. Thank you for joining us here at Key West Naval Air Station at Sigsbee Place. Until next time,
Love y'all.
love y'all.
Take care of each other. Peace out.